Big thanks to Cardmarket for sponsoring today's video.
And then she has the stupid fucking leader ability to just trash one of your Celestial Dragons on board, or trash a card from your hand to draw one. Motherfucker, did we learn nothing after printing Sakazuki? Did we learn nothing?
Alright, hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video. In today's video, we are going to be ranking the top 10 most hated leaders of all time in the One Piece card game. There are a lot of leaders that are universally hated among the leaders and the metas that we've had throughout the years here, right? Specifically now, we are going into OP13, which is a unbearable meta. And unfortunately, one of those leaders is ruining the game for every single person in the entire format. Everybody hates him, and that is, of course, Emu. And that made me think, well, if you're an Emu main, do I hate you more than a Soro main? If you're a Soro main, do I hate you more than a Sakazuki main? I had this discussion on a live stream the other day, and it gave me this idea to break down what the most hated leaders of all time really are, and how bad were they and how bad are they today. So we're gonna jump into a tier list, and we're gonna take a look at the top 10 most hated leaders of all time. So here I have a tier list. We're just gonna go over the most hated ones, and I'm gonna put everything that's like I deem to be hated just on the tier list first of all before we start going through them. I think Soro makes the cut here. He was very hated back in the day. Doflamingo definitely goes up here. I think Whitebeard goes up here as well. Let's see, what's like a really toxic? Nami definitely goes up here. Then let's see. I think everyone for OP04 was in the clear here. I think Bello Betty goes up there as well. People hate Bello Betty. Holy shit. Sakazuki goes up here for sure. Enel goes up here. Let's see. Bonnie's up here for sure. That leader sucks. Lucci's like probably not gonna make the cut. We already have like fucking a lot of leaders here, and we haven't even gone to the worst ones. So Lucci probably doesn't make the cut. Neither does Shanks, but it's close. Buggy's also like on the line there. Teach gotta make the cut, bro. Holy shit. Then we were pretty good in OP11 besides this guy. And then there's Soro. He's obviously up there. Koala is like on the line as well. People hate playing as Koala. I think Ace is on the grasp as well. He sucks. I hate playing as Ace, but I don't think he makes top 10. Emu, however, definitely makes top 10. That shit is literally cancer on a stick. Then we're going into promos and starter decks here. There's nothing that stands out to me. I mean, yeah, sure. Red, purple, law. Nothing else that stands out to me. No, that should be it. So how many leaders do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 3 out of these need to be cut out of the top 10. And they're going to be like honorable mentions. And I think among these, I think Soro doesn't make the cut anymore. I know Soro was hated back in the day. It was awful. Soro was cringe. But I don't think he actually makes the cut anymore. Another leader to... Oh, shit. I'm going to cut Bello Betty as well. I think Bello Betty is very universally hated by a lot of players. But it hasn't had that meta relevance for it to be hated during a long period of time like some of these other decks have. Now I need to cut one more. It's either Blue Purple Luffy, Doflamingo, or Whitebeard. Everything else is universally hated. And I think I'm actually going to give it to Doflamingo. I don't think Doflamingo is going to make the top cut here. It's like Doflamingo or Luffy here. I think Green Purple is like also like right below these. He can get an honorable mention as well. He's like slightly hated, but not that hated. But I think this is our top 10 most hated decks. Now, to rank these and let you know why they are so hated as they are, we're gonna start from the beginning with Whitebeard. Whitebeard ran the meta for a long time. OP02, it was dominant as crazy. OP03, he was dominating. OP04, he was dominating up until the point he was literally banned. And then OP05, he came back and was gone. But OP02 and OP03, he was an absolute menace.
And in Japan, in OP04, he was still the best deck in the format. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. Then that's why he ended up getting the ban that he did. He definitely doesn't go in end at all. I'm actually gonna make another tier here, just below here, where we can put all of the these guys while they're in the waiting room. And I think Whitebeard is actually gonna go bottom here. I think Whitebeard was a very hated deck, but the metagame in general in the earlier stages of One Piece was very healthy. Even though Whitebeard was like running amok and was just making people's life miserable, compared to some of these other decks, he's actually just nowhere near anything. He might actually be the bottom most, like least hated decks among the top 10 of most hated decks. And I think actually, like I mentioned before, I think Luffy goes in here as well. I think Luffy and Whitebeard are equally just top decks, but they just weren't as hated in the game style or like these other decks here are. These other decks here are hateable on so many levels that I believe they just aren't quite making it up to the standards of these decks. And I think similarly to both Blue Purple Luffy and Whitebeard, we're gonna put Sakasuki. Sakasuki was an insanely powerful deck, and obviously it ran the format for a long time. Multiple formats just gone because Sakasuki was gatekeeping. But again, just like comparing it to leaders of today, Sakasuki, I don't know if it's like recency bias that I hate these leaders, but Sakasuki, even in his prime, it was not so fucking prevalent that it made you feel bad. Like if you went to a tournament and you were like, "Oh, my round 1 is Sakasuki," you weren't like, "I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna cry myself to sleep." It wasn't that bad. I know the deck was very, very, very strong, but the playstyle itself is just kind of removal based, right? It sucks that it's like bottom decking all your shit and it's doing it for basically free, and you have Gecko Moria and everything. But I think it's like on the, it's right between these here. Like if Sakasuki is literally back and it does nothing, right? So how can you even hate on a deck that was gone for a extended period of time because it was too good, but now that it's back, it does literally nothing? I don't know. I feel like you can't complain too much about that. But in general, I think like we're talking about OP05, OP06. I think it was banned in OP07, but like that's the Sakasuki we're talking about. And he definitely goes in like a tier where it's like, I hate him, but you know, he's not as bad as some of these other villains. And I think that's gonna be it for I personally don't like you tier. And I think we're gonna go over to don't ever show your face around me or my family ever again. And I think at the bottom of that tier is gonna be Teach. I think Teach gatekeeps a lot of decks, and it sucks because people are just like, oh my god, I built this really cool deck. Oh wait, it's filled with on plays. I can't do anything. Like majority of the gate cards in all of One Piece are just on plays, and he just negates them, and it sucks, and it's really cringe. But he also just haven't had that meta relevancy that it's like, okay, I'm gonna go into a tournament and if I go against the Teach, I lose, and then that's it for the tournament run. No, you can still go X1 because Teach is not gonna ruin your entire life because there's never been that many Teaches. Also, being a very skillful deck means even if you are going up against a Teach player, you still have that chance of winning, even though you might have an unfavorable Teach matchup, and you didn't ever actually have to build a deck specifically to go around Teach because he was never the best deck in format. He was never, I don't think he even cracked top 3 if I'm being honest. So I think he's just gonna make, like, I hate the deck, I hate the playstyle, I don't like the way they just say no, I think it's cringe, but it's definitely not that bad compared to some of these other decks. Next up, right next to this, oh, it's probably between Nami and Red Purple Law, which is crazy for me to say. But people hate Nami. people hate Nami. I'm gonna put Red Purple Law here. Red Purple Law was an incredibly cringe deck that just also, like Sakasuke just said, I'm gonna remove everything. But instead of saying I'm gonna remove everything, he said I'm gonna remove everything and play a bunch of cards and put on aggression and draw cards and not lose any sort of value ever, because that's just what Red Purple Law did. Luckily for us, Red Purple Law got banned right in time as Black Maria released, and we never had to deal with full power Red Purple Law. If we did, this deck would probably make it to the absolute top of the list. Holy shit, this deck was cancer to begin with, and then it literally became even worse somehow. But luckily, Bandai clutched up and banned him right before he got to us here in the West. Poor Asia, who had to deal with this man in his prime. I feel terribly sorry for you. If you want to come here and change my tier list and put him in at the top 1 most hated decks of all time, I get it. But for me, he sits perfectly right around here. And like I said before, I think Nami goes here as well. I think Nami is also one of those decks that people have just always hated playing against because it is a slower playstyle. You have to change your entire game plan and you just have to play differently, which people don't like. People don't like when things are experimental, when you don't have practice against this matchup or anything like that. However, Nami has not ever been meta. She had like a slight run back in like OP03, but even then she was like not even cracking top 3. And since then, she's gone up and down. She's been here and there. Like Kuja Pirates support dropped, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna play Marguerite and Snake Dance, and now I'm a good deck again." But she never really did that much. You could literally go into any competitive tournament and be like, "Okay, I shouldn't be playing against Nami statistically, so things should be fine." But I understand why people hate playing against Nami. I think it's interesting to play against Nami. So for me personally, it's not going to be that high on the list. It's really just this high on the list because I know you guys fucking hate it. If I were to personally rank this shit, I'd probably put it like here. Like, honestly. But I'm trying to be slightly objective with this ranking as well and not just make it based on my personal opinions. And so Nami is going to go here in, what is this, 5th place. Sounds about right. Just slap down in the straight middle of the top 10. I think that's a perfect spot for her. Then we have these 4 decks left. These gotta be my 4 personal most hated decks ever. Like, these decks are all incredibly fucking cringe. They're ugly. Whoever played these has no friends. And I think, yeah, these 4 are all going in top tier, for sure. 100%. I hate these decks so much, dude. I don't even know where to begin. I think the lowest of these... Oh, dude, it's close, dude. It's so close. I don't know where to begin with these. I hate them all so much. Holy shit. I think... Oh my god, dude, I can't do this. Maybe I should have fucking pre-recorded shit for this so I wouldn't be on the spot. Like, I should have pre-made the tier list. So, NL, he fucking sucks, dude. He literally says, you're not gonna get any access to your life. In fact, you're gonna sit on 10 life so that I can pop whatever you play, no matter who you are. And then Bonnie, she says, hey, you can build your board as fucking big as you want. If you play at fucking 10 cards, I don't care. I'm gonna be resting one of your things every single turn. What the fuck? It is so cringe. Like, it's between these, I think. Because I think these are... You know what? Maybe I'm fucking wrong. Maybe Soro is less cringe than these guys. Holy shit. Like, Soro is really fucking cringe. Obviously, he goes, I'm gonna take one of your character and one of your life every single turn, and I'm gonna do it for free while establishing a fucking 7k body. And now in OP13, he has access to Law, he has access to Mihawk Soro. Like, holy shit, this deck is stupid as well. I think I'm gonna give the 4th place on this top 10 to Enel. I think Enel is incredibly cringe, but as a previous Robin main for OP12/PRB, I see the healing, stalling aspect of it more clearly. And obviously, Robin is an incredibly less cringe leader than Enel. Enel obviously having that leader effect that just says, hey, I'm gonna just heal over and over again. You're never gonna be able to kill me because you need like 5 swings in total to do it, and even then you lose to a trigger. So I can see why it's cringe. The fact that he heals his last life as well literally doubles his chances for 0 cost event or like Veggie in his last life. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. But again, Enel, Starve Enel just came around very recently, kind of like as a Soro killer. Whereas like even back in the day, yes, they used to starve you, but they didn't used to heal you fully, right? Putting things into your life is something they've recently started doing more aggressively. Whereas, like, if you take OP05 Enel, right? Like, yeah, he played 8 cost Katakuri. But that's about it, right? And the game, and that's like when Enel was meta. Other than that, Enel has never really come back as a meta deck. It's just like when you see it, you go, ugh. Now I have to sit here for 25 minutes and do nothing and just play out characters, not swing with anything, because swinging just does nothing against Enel. So it's a really weird deck, and the playstyle is fucking infuriating. It gets the 4th place, and that's simply because all these other decks are so incredibly fucking cringe. It's actually disgusting. And I do believe that I think actually Soro makes top 3. I think Soro is the 3rd most hated deck of all time. I think no. That's where I would personally put him. But every other player in the entire game would put Bonnie here. Bonnie is incredibly fucking cringe to play against. The fact that you will always be in a spot where you will always be 1 attack short, and you are now forced to always swing with your biggest swing first, so your math is always fucked as well. The 8 cost Kid into something else is stupid and broken because of her leader effect. Because, oh, I know you're gonna play Kid. Oh, well, let me play a big fucking character that I can swing into it then. Well, okay, I have 2, even if I have 2 big characters out, right? Then you will swing with your 1 big character, they'll rest the other one, and then they will just block the big character swing, and then you're stuck there like a fucking idiot. And this is if assuming they haven't pre-played blockers as well, because that's also a thing they can do. It's incredibly slow deck that just slowly but surely takes control of the game while playing things like 10 cost Flamingo, 8 cost Kid, even 9 cost Shanks to just fully obliterate everything that you want to do. And it's such a stally, controlly type deck that I think it's just like I would much rather play against Sakazuki or Red Purple Law than Bonnie always, because just the way she forces you to play is not fun at all. And I think that's why Bonnie is the 3rd most hated deck of all time. And then in 2nd place is Soro. 2nd place is Soro. Soro being known as the brain dead deck, which I'm a Bello Betty main, by the way, and I'm saying, hey, Soro's brain dead is shit. But that's first of all because Bello Betty is not brain dead, and you're all stupid if you think that. But holy shit, the amount of fucking brain dead memes that has come from this leader existing at all, it's so funny. We have a running joke that is just swing, swing. Just saying swing, swing, and you know exactly who the fuck I'm talking about. We're talking about this dumbass fucking guy who literally just plays 5 cost Tashigi, swings at your board, swings at your face, and then does the same thing next turn, and the turn after, and the turn after, and the turn after, until you are all but dead and have no board, and then, boom, swing into your board, boom, swing into your face, boom, reset event, swing into your face, reset event, swing into your face, and it's nothing you can do because you're out of cards because you countered all of the earlier swings not to fucking die, and if you wanted to keep your board at all, yeah, well then you have to counter there as well, and you always have, there's always this balance, right, where you have to be like, should I counter defend my board or should I counter defend my face? If I counter defend my board, I'm gonna fucking die. And if I counter defend my face, then like my board is gone and I have nothing. And you can't defend them both unless you're a magical fucking giant deck maybe. Then maybe you have a chance. And so Soro has just been so fucking dumb and miserable. It kills so many decks, and it's just a boring playstyle. And you can play it with literally 2 brain cells, and you would do fine because 2 cards is all you need to play this damn deck. This deck should literally be Searchers, Tashigi, Restand Event, and 2Ks. I don't care. Don't put anything else in there. Like, you're being cringe. Maybe in OP13, I see why you play Law. Don't play anything else. Who gives a fuck? The deck doesn't need it. Just swing. Swing, swing. That's my Soro rant. I think I'm done there. And then maybe this is recency bias. Maybe it's because I have the problem of dealing with Emu right now. But to me, it's so clear that Emu goes in 1. I think Emu, it's just so stupid of a deck, right? The way they can play, what is it, 27 Dawn for 4 Dawn? Like, what the fuck is that? And that's their 10 Dawn turn, right? Their 10 Dawn turn is 5 Elders into 5 Elders. One of them draws you a card from searching top 5. One of them draws a card when they block. One of them pops a 5 cost. One of them has Rush and gives minus 2,000 something. And one of them gives everything a base power of 7,000. Do you realize how stupid this shit is? That's a 4 Dawn play. This motherfucker can still slap like 4 or 5 Dawn on their leader and keep Dawn up for counter events. What the fuck? And speaking of counter events, they have fucking 8 of them. They have 8 counter events. They have one that's a plus 3k to lead, and then they have the stupid fucking never existed, which is literally unconditional plus 4k as long as your leader is Emu. And it's 4k to anything. It's not just leader, it's anything. It's just fucking defend your characters, defend your face. What? It's so dumb. And oh, did I forget to mention that every single 5 Elder cannot be removed from the field by your opponent's effects. So you cannot Gravity Blade, you cannot fucking Lucci, you cannot KO them in any way, you cannot bottom deck them in any way, you cannot bounce them in any way, you can't even put them into your opponent's life in any way, shape, or form. And the condition for these, 7 cards in trash. 7 cards in trash. Motherfucker, they got that turn 1. They get that before they even play a fucking 5 Elder. They got 2 searchers, so 8 cards that trash the top 3 when they search. Like, they search top 3 and trashes the rest. And then she has the stupid fucking leader ability to just trash one of your Celestial Dragons on board, or trash a card from your hand to draw one. Motherfucker, did we learn nothing after printing Sakazuki? Did we learn nothing? This is an infinitely better Sakazuki thing. And this is not even the fucking fun part, right? The fun part is this motherfucker has the goddamn text that's right here above that good effect of trashing a character and drawing a card. They start with a 7 cost stage on the field. What the fuck? And it's just, the fucking stage says, hey, every single card in your entire deck now costs 3 Dawn to play. What the fuck? It's so dumb. They have literally a 4/5 searcher that you can play for 3. They have a 4/5 blocker that on KO's draw cards is like a mini 4-cost Marco, but he also can't be removed from the field. They have Marcus fucking Mars that can perfectly on curve KO any 5 cost, right? You're going first. Oh well, I'm Emu, so when I reach 6, I'm gonna pop your 5, or literally anything you play, because for some reason that motherfucker is base cost. What the fuck? I understand why he's base cost, because there's the power cost reduction Celestial Dragons, but holy shit, you're cucking my fucking Koala deck because you don't know how to print cards, Bandai? You piece of fucking dog shit. Oh, you fucking my Sabo deck because you don't know how to print fucking cards? Fucking it's so dumb and stupid. It's actually just the dumbest fucking deck ever. And would you look at that? They play their fucking 10 costs. And the 10 cost says, yeah, trash a card from your hand and rest of Dawn, whatever. So you trash a card out of your hand, and you play the card, right? So you're -2 in hand. Well, fucking look at that. Saturn searches, fucking Valkyrie draws, boom, hand neutral, 10 Dawn play, and you've ruined your entire opponent's board. You've ruined their life. You've ruined everything. You are, dude, I'm speechless. Holy shit. I actually didn't know how to finish that fucking sentence for a second there, because I'm so baffled by the fucking deck that is Emu. I cannot wait for OP14 to say, hey, I'm a fucking warlord leader. I have access to Perfume Femur. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for Emu to just be completely fucking irrelevant in the set. Holy fuck. Oh my god. I'm sorry, guys. We all knew this was gonna happen when we got this far in the list. Holy shit. Okay, I'm gonna drop it there. We've been going for almost 25 minutes. This is my top 10 most hated decks of all time in the One Piece card game. Emu in first, Soro in second, Bonnie, Enel, Nami, Law, Blackbeard, Sakazuki, Blue Purple Luffy, Whitebeard, and in honorable mention we have Doflamingo, Soro, Betty, and Green Purple Luffy. I think I'm happy with this list. Holy fuck. Dude, I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. I shouldn't have done this video. I'm losing it. All right. That is going to be it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe as well if you want to see more content like this. I love me some raging sometimes. Usually it's reserved for streams. Streams is where I fucking crash out the most often. If you're watching videos, you probably only see me crash out a couple times. But this is gonna be one of those times. Holy shit, just thinking about this fucking decks, they make my blood boil. Holy fuck. But yeah, like, subscribe. Other than that, I hope to see you again in the next one. Peace.